Glad to have you back. Get ready as we dive into the thrilling world of Nightcrawler. You won't want to miss this review. Louis Bloom slips through the iron fence at the train station only to be confronted by a police officer. He feigns confusion, claiming to be lost, and narrowly escapes. At a scrap yard, he haggles over metal prices and asks for a job, but the owner brushes him off, saying he doesn't hire thieves. Crestfallen, Louis heads home. On the way, he stumbles upon a car accident. Two officers struggle to rescue a woman while two men with cameras leap from their car and start filming every angle. After capturing the chaos, they call for an ambulance. Curious, Louis asks if the footage will make the news. The cameraman explains he sells to the highest bidder. When Louis inquires about the pay, the man shrugs, saying it's barely worth the effort. Louis eyes the gear in the car and remarks that it must be enough to afford all that equipment. The man simply calls it a job for idiots, already speeding off to chase the next story. At dawn, Louis tunes into the morning news and spots coverage of the accident he witnessed. Determined to join the action, he heads to the beach, steals a pricey bicycle, and trades it for a camera and a police scanner. Back in his car, he scans the airwaves for breaking news. When he hears about an incident, he races to the scene, camera in hand, only to be shooed away by police. Another call crackles through the scanner about a shooting, and Louis speeds off, eager to capture the chaos. Again, police push him back, but this time he notices the seasoned cameraman from before. After a heated exchange, Louis trails him and overhears him negotiating with news channels, selling his footage for $300 a clip. Louis brings his footage to a local news channel, where they quickly peg him as a stringer. They mention another freelancer who already covered the shooting, but Louis insists his shots are closer. When they review his video and see a gripping close-up of the wounded man, they realize they have a headline story and rush to air it. Louis makes his first sale for $250. Journalist Nina encourages him to invest in better gear, praising his raw talent. She explains that viewers crave emotional stories, especially when the wealthy fall victim to violent crime. She describes their latest news, a blooded woman fleeing down the street with her child. Louis promises to return and heads out, hungry for his next scoop. Back at home, Louis obsessively scours the news, replaying the footage he just sold. He burns it onto a disc, carefully labeling his work. Driven by ambition, he dives into lapped codes online, ranking them by urgency and scribbling notes. With the police scanner crackling, he listens intently, cross-checks the codes, and memorizes them, determined to master his new world. He posts a job ad and soon meets Rick at a bustling cafe. Louis, posing as a media company boss, pitches the job. Rick refuses to work for free, so Louis hands him $30 for the night. Together, they cruise the city, police scanner blaring, as Louis lectures on the code's significance. Hours slip by as they hunt for a story. Night falls. When they finally catch a lead, Rick's wrong turn costs them precious minutes. By the time they reach the burning house, rival crews have already packed up and vanished. Frustrated with Rick, Louis steers them to another scene. Camera in hand, he captures every detail, chats up the neighbor, and boldly slips inside without permission. He records the house's intimate spaces, family photos, and the fiancée with her son outside. Later, he presents the footage to Nina, who is instantly impressed and buys it. Louis shares his story, his confidence, and smooth talk, leaving Nina intrigued. He credits the internet for his skills. Nina praises his work before departing. Louis returns home to see his footage splashed across the news. He dutifully archives it, then heads out for more. Night after night, he chases the most shocking scenes, selling his grisly tapes and building a personal library. The profits pile up, funding a sleek new car and top-tier gear. He grows impatient with Rick's sloppy refueling and warns him. At the next accident, Louis ignores a wounded man's pleas, instead arranging the scene for the perfect shot. The tragedy means nothing to him, only the footage matters. He delivers the latest video to Nina, who commends him for producing 3 standout pieces in a week. Louis then invites her to a Mexican restaurant. As he leaves the studio, rival stringer Joe approaches, proposing a partnership that could double their earnings thanks to his police connections. Louis refuses, insisting he works best alone. Over dinner, Louis bluntly asks Nina to sleep with him. She is startled by his audacity, but Louis reveals he knows everything about her and claims her channel's soaring ratings are his doing. He threatens to take his footage elsewhere if she refuses. Reluctantly, Nina agrees, unwilling to risk her career. Louis and Rick race to a new scene, but Joe beats them there. Nina is frustrated, the channel's ratings are slipping without fresh, gripping footage. She pressures Louis to deliver. Furious after seeing Joe's video on air, Louis shatters a mirror in rage. He retaliates by sabotaging Joe's car. That night, when Joe crashes, Louis films the wreck without a hint of remorse. They hurry to another crime scene, arriving before the police. Louis slips into the garden and, once the criminals leave, captures the carnage inside, 3 bodies, blood everywhere. To him, it is just another valuable video. When he shows Nina, she is stunned but decides to air it, ignoring any legal or ethical boundaries. Louis asks for $100,000 for it. They haggle and settle on $15,000. He also wants his name in the news and to come on the channel to meet everyone in person and get whatever he wants in bed. Nina, hungry for high ratings, has no choice but to agree. Agreeing, Nina personally introduces him to all the journalists, calling him the president of the video company. The video is shown on the news, and Louis' name is mentioned for the first time. He is overjoyed. Death has lost all meaning for him. Louis, who is watching his video again on TV, is visited by the police and questioned. He claims to have seen a car but refuses to reveal the license plate. Obsessively replaying the footage, he finally uncovers the number and tracks down the owner and address online. He ropes Rick into his scheme, claiming the company is expanding and demanding a salary. Rick, bristling, offers $75 a day, while Solar silently wishes he had bargained harder. Together, they stake out the criminal's house, lured by the promise of a $50,000 police reward. Louis unveils his plan, tip off the police only when he finds the perfect spot to film. Rick, ever the negotiator, demands his cut for the footage, and after some back and forth, they strike a deal. As soon as the criminal leaves his house, Louis tails him. He slips into a nearby cafe, calls the police, and warns them about the armed suspect tied to yesterday's murder. Determined to capture every angle, he plans a 2-camera shoot. Anticipating chaos, Louis remains in the car while Rick films from outside. They document the unfolding shootout from both perspectives, even as the police car crashes in cinematic fashion. Amid the wreckage, Louis checks the car, coldly informs Rick of a death, and urges him to keep filming. Suddenly, Rick is shot by the criminal but manages to escape the car. The police arrive in time to gun down the fleeing suspect. Louis captures every harrowing moment on camera. Louis confronts Rick, accusing him of stealing his methods and warning that if he does not eliminate him now, Rick will become a threat. Rick suddenly understands that Louis deliberately armed the criminal. Louis delivers the explosive footage to Nina, who thanks him. Just then, the police arrive, insisting the videos cannot be aired. Nina, undeterred and lacking official paperwork, boldly decides to broadcast everything anyway. Louis faces the police, ready with a fabricated story. The detective, however, sees through the deception and realizes that Louis masterminded the entire ordeal for his footage. Shocked, the detective finds himself recording the death of a friend. Forced to let Louis go, he watches as Louis, in the film's final moments, grows his company and hires new staff. Louis has sacrificed his humanity for ambition. The film ends here. If you liked it, push the like button.